Welcome to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? They escaped death in how many of those? We give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Kamps, and I'm here with...
Elizabeth, fuck the Bruins. Helly. Oh, you grabbed it for me. Okay.
And?
Tyler Hymanson.
Oh, Tyler's here too. Beep, beep, beep. I was like, Tyler didn't have a fun...
I was going to tell you to grab that, and then I forgot. You did it anyway. Yeah! Although I don't endorse being the Sultans either. Okay.
Yeah. Fair point. Anyway, we are back here continuing on with the Final Destination franchise with 2006 Final Destination 3. And we have a special guest, a very special guest, the specialist of all guests.
Yay.
My partner, my wife, the mother of my children and everything. Gloriana is here. Gloriana Kamps is here.
Hi, it's actually Gloriana Kamps now.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you want to go professionally.
Do I get one of those?
You want to have this one?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ben Frank.
Oh my God, that was the other one I was going to tell you to get. Yes.
That's a good one too.
That's a good one.
I got a couple other fun ones. But,
Okay.
we'll see.
Well, let's do all the intro things, and then we can
That's
talk
right.
about this,
Thank you guys all for being here as we continue on our march towards Final Destination Bloodlines coming out in May, a couple months now. Before we get too far into things, Eliz, where can people reach out?
Yes, you can send us an email to sequelrights@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sequel Rights and YouTube.
And rate and review wherever you're listening. If you've already done that, we appreciate it. Share it out on one of those various social medias that Eliz just mentioned.
So many social medias. All right, you guys. Now, before we get into the film here, let's check in with our guest, Gloriana, here.
Yes.
What is your relationship with the Final Destination films? I know the answer already, but for our listeners.
I do not know.
Yes.
Please tell
for
me.
For our listeners, what?
Yeah,
tell us about it.
So when I was like very young during my teenage years, I used to watch a lot of horror movies. I don't like horror movies anymore, but Final Destination was very special because Final Destination 1 has my one and only crush when I was a teenage, which is Devon Sawa. And I think the first movie was so good. I wanted to watch the second one, the third one, and I stopped in the third one. But the third one, for me, is even if there's no Devon Sawa there, is like my favorite of the three of them.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I'm so excited to be here for this movie specifically.
Is there any like particular reason why it's your favorite, or are you going to tell us throughout?
Yeah, I can tell you now. I don't know why, but I was obsessed with the main character's bangs. Uh-huh. And then after this movie, I cut my hair like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I think the roller coaster thing is something that, you always think about, especially at that age, that is something that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so cool to see it in a movie. So
yeah. And not in real life.
Does this one have any funny title in Spanish or whatever in Costa Rica?
No, it's just Destino Final, which is like the exact same translation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I bring that up because what is it? The Purge is like American Nightmare or something.
Oh yeah.
That's the one you always tell us about. Yeah.
and Mi Villano Favorito.
Yeah, Mi Villano Favorito. That's Despicable Me.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the one I always think is really funny.
Oh, that's funny too. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why they do that in Spanish. But
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into it as we are going to discuss Final Destination 3.
It was an accident.
There it is.
They barely escaped.
No! The tracks are broken! Don't push the button!
The ones who got off that roller coaster are still going to die.
It's become a destination.
You're reading into this like them urban legends.
They can't avoid.
I never thought I could see my own death before it happened. You're dead!
Final Destination 3.
Meet you at the end.
Rated R. Starts Friday, February 10th.
I had to use a TV trailer because there was like, the only other one was a teaser trailer that I could find online that had no dialogue or anything.
Okay.
But all right, this is 2006, and James Wong is back, director of the first film, back for this one.
Cool.
So,
but no characters.
No characters are back.
No characters.
And just some cursory mentions.
Not even
to
the
other.
Moulin Rouge sign.
Yeah, and we'll never find out if that young girl stayed together with that adult police officer.
That's right. Yeah. Maybe they started a commune there. I don't know.
Yeah.
On the farm.
So this one's a bit of a reboot, sort of, because there actually really is no connection anymore to the original accident. They do look it up. They find out about it, but they don't find out anything about the second wave of deaths that happened. And they don't even really find out like good information about how it ended for Devon Sawa and all them.
Yeah, they all they know is that they just started dying one by one. It was weird, and then it happened again.
And they found out you could skip people, but they didn't find out that the 3 people eventually
or how they found out you could
about
skip
the Moulin
people.
Rouge. Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like they did have all the details. Like, it followed them from it like went in the order they were on the plane. I'm like, how did they know that information?
I don't know.
Was that in the news?
He told the press.
Retcon of the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the real reason that they didn't find out any good information, and the biggest thing missing in this movie, is no cameo from Tony Todd.
Actually, not true.
Well,
Yes.
he does do a voice.
Not the same.
Yeah.
I know. It's we get to hear him do stuff like this.
You may never return from Devil's Bite.
How are you supposed to know that's him?
I don't think you are.
I didn't recognize it during the movie, but I recognized it in the credits.
Yeah,
like
his
at the very
name,
end.
his name is in the credits. As like the,
No, not even then. Just I was just listening. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I saw his name in the
They have
credits.
like a wah at the very end of the credits.
Right.
But yeah, we're at a carnival. It might be the same carnival from Us and all the other scary carnivals that we've seen.
All the
Nightmare
scary
Alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All the scary
Right,
carnivals
that was the one that came out at the
totally
same time
connected.
as Us. Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's over there doing the freak show.
The geek show.
The geek show.
Yeah.
We get introduced to our group of characters, led by Mary Elizabeth Winstead,
Yay.
who Glory was mentioning. She copied the bangs.
Yes. Yeah. I think she looks really cool at that moment. I think it was like a very not normal thing to do. We were just, doing hairstyles with how do you say
Center part?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then she was like a total trendsetter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also it reminds me a lot about how I used to dress and, at that age. I don't know. I felt a little bit nostalgic when...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny that this is the first movie that I think I can remember that's in this genre, like a horror movie of this time, that's supposed to be like kids that are my exact age.
Yeah.
Because this was, their class of 05, all those other things, and it's just like...
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely skipped this movie at this time.
I was just gonna say, like, did you watch this or what?
I feel like I must have seen it because I remember the roller coaster. So
I definitely saw it.
I don't know.
I was in college, so I was.
I
like,
was in film school, and I was like, no.
So I looked it up, and there are not that many roller coaster accidents in the world. They're really
Thank God.
only like. And ones that are related to mechanical failure specifically, there have only been 11 really that people count, and the most people to die has been 5 at once. So
more
the
than
rest
5
are
people
usually
dying?
like someone running on the tracks when the train is starting or whatever, like more like stuff like that, not like a mechanical failure. It's like very rare, and most of the time it's like 1, 2, 3 people. The most is 5 at once, and it's only happened one time.
It's a classic, irrational fear, because those things are like actually pretty safe, and the minute something starts to malfunction, they stop. Which is why you get lots of people stuck on roller coasters, but they don't.
Yeah.
Do you guys go on roller coasters? Do you like them?
Yes.
Okay.
And I like to go in the front of the roller coaster. So I would totally be in the car in the front.
You would have been stuck
Yeah.
in the front, like, my boyfriend won't let me. What? That's my
I guess we
boyfriend.
gotta swap boyfriends for plot reasons.
But I don't know if it's because of this movie or what, but every time that I get in a roller coaster, I think about like, okay, if something happens to this thing, I'm just gonna grab like this or
Yeah.
I have a plan already. Yeah, in case.
Well, many have both the seatbelt and the thing, and in which
Smart.
the seatbelt is actually more just for you to feel better. And then, obviously you should just hold on if that happens. It's funny because they when it did the loop, they were like, "We're gonna fall out," and I was like, "You actually won't fall out on the loop.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. It's the hills, the up and down. That is when you would fly out because of the centrifugal forces. But when they were going on the loop, I was like, "Oh, that's fine. You won't fall out then." Everyone's twirled a bucket of water in their life, like.
But then they did fall out on the
which made no sense.
Well, they were stuck in the upside down.
I loved that was happening.
Oh, when they got stuck,
And,
yes.
one of those girls was just like, "Hang on, I can't."
That would have been me like, nah, this sucks, but I can't do it. Sorry. I'll die in terror.
I mean, maybe the strategy is to actually let go at a strategic point, like
Maybe.
toward
I guess, but you're like so panicked that you would
Yeah.
not even be able to.
That's true. That's true. Like if you let go in one where you're not immediately gonna fall on a track that is like if you let go when it's just going over like grass or something, I guess that would be like the play, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
If you could even figure that out.
Because then you're like, oh, only my legs will break and I'll be. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
Basically,
everybody
everyone
dies.
should know before you get on the roller coaster, you should strategize when the best time to fall out would be. Then you'll be prepared.
Yeah, there's lots of ride-along videos online. You can look up the roller coasters beforehand.
What's the scariest roller coaster that you've been on?
Scariest? Oh God,
Because I specifically have one I can talk about too.
I think the one that was I don't know if I thought any of them were scary, but like I think the Green Lantern one here in at Six Flags.
I've been to that
okay.
one.
I felt so disoriented
remember.
the entire ride. Like I had no idea where I was or where
Whoa.
because you're kind of like moving down and then also spinning.
Oh,
so
really?
I was like,
I don't remember that
I was
at
like,
all.
I don't know what
Okay.
the fuck. It was like just so crazy.
I
like,
haven't been to Six Flags in
could
like
not have
20
told you
years,
what was
but,
happening, but that was
either.
fun. It was fun.
For me, it's not so much like the extremeness of the coaster itself. It's the like dilapidation level and sketchiness level of the carnival or amusement park that I'm at. Because the scariest one I've ever been on is in Munich at the Real Oktoberfest. They have an Olympic rings one, which is, of course, 5 very quick in succession loops to look like the Olympic rings. That was terrifying.
Oh God.
I'm sure it's very safe, but
I mean, those old wooden coasters that they have are kind of a little scary.
Right,
like
Ghost Rider.
like the American Eagle at Six Flags in Chicago too. Yeah.
do they have a lot of roller coasters in Costa Rica?
We have a couple. There's one amusement park, and there's like a couple of roller coasters, which they're super cool and safe. But every December for New Year's, they have a carnival in San Jose, which is the capital of Costa Rica. And they have a very, very, very old and sketchy roller coaster. And I think that's the scariest one for me too. Is like it's so in bad shape.
Yeah.
It's not the actual roller, and it's huge.
Yeah, well, anything that has to be torn down and put up again is always never going to be as secure as something
I don't want to
that's
fuck
there
with
year-round.
carnival rides like straight
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
State fair, like no thanks.
I think the most harrowing roller coaster ride I've had in recent memory is that like a few years ago, my brother and I decided to do the New York roller coaster again. And
Super
like,
old,
it,
right?
it is that thing is in disrepair.
And you'll just fall out into like the street,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I do not ride it, and it's one of those things too. It's like we grew up there,
on
so
the
like,
Brooklyn Bridge.
we remember, when it was like a brand new roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, even then it was rough. Like this felt like you were concussed, and it's not
Okay.
because
Oh, boy.
it's just
Have you been on the one
Rickety.
that's on top of the stratosphere or whatever?
never rode on.
Oh,
it.
okay.
I've actually never been.
That one
up in
sounds
the
scary.
stratosphere.
Yeah, it sounds scary for sure. Okay, so while this whole roller coaster scene is happening, I'm like, oh my God, how many times did these poor people have to ride this roller coaster to shoot all of this, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
And I looked up the answer. Do you want to know what it
Yes,
is? What are
I
your
do.
guess? What's your guess?
200 times.
200. I'm gonna say 76.
50.
It was only 26. So
Oh.
you guys are way overshooting
Phew.
it, but that's
Well,
still
they
pretty
play-
bad.
yeah.
Still pretty
26
bad.
times in one day, like yikes.
Oh, I didn't realize it was one day.
Oh, I don't know if it actually I don't know, but 26 times total to get all the shots that were
That's
necessary.
still a lot.
And a
yeah.
lot of it was special effects, or I'm
Yeah.
sure they put stand-ins in for some of the ones where the people weren't actually, on camera. But
I was kind of like, how many different ways can you die on a roller coaster
Right.
when you're watching it?
There's one guy that was like this one roller coaster just purist that was the best day of his life when he became the extra that just got to ride the roller coaster
in different seats, or whatever,
26 times in a row.
Yeah. Okay, so I skipped right to the roller coaster, but we're seeing all the senior high school class at the carnival.
Yearbook production has to happen first.
Yeah. I did not do yearbook because I was put into newspaper instead. It was one or the other.
I was also in journalism.
Yes. Okay. So we don't know about this.
We hate those
I didn't
nerds.
do any of those things.
But we did have, crappy digital cameras to take candids with.
I had the same digital camera.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And
I had a Canon, not a Panasonic, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember taking photos all over the place, and I remember I had to save a lot of money because it was like so trendy.
Yep.
And when I saw it, this movie is so nostalgic for me.
Did your camera also show how people die?
No.
Yeah.
Spooky.
We'll talk about it, but I did not like that part because it's like a total Ring ripoff that they're just like desperately trying to do, and it's like no.
When the movie's like desperately trying to justify the trope in front of you during the movie, it's trying too hard.
Have you, Tyler? Have you ever done a hammer swing thing at a carnival?
I've never done. Were
you a metrosexual weight class when you did it? Remember when metrosexuals was like a thing everybody was trying to identify as? So stupid.
I do remember that a little bit. Yeah.
What a nightmare that was.
Very dumb.
Oh man.
So we're introduced to all the characters. They're, she's freaking out about everything like the protagonist usually does in these movies.
Well, the roller coaster, the theme of the roller coaster is the devil.
Yeah.
True.
Devil's Flight.
I would be freaked out with that.
You were
really?
like, why would they even make a coaster like that?
Yeah.
Because it's scarier.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to talk about. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
I think I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast or mentioned it to you guys afterwards, but I was hoping that so I had this on DVD back in the day because because I loved, I was buying so many DVDs and I just really like to buy stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And I had this on DVD and it had one of the coolest special features that I think any of the DVDs have had that I've gotten. And there was a whole the reason I wanted the DVD here, I think it's back at my parents', is that it's not on the Blu-ray that we have. But there's this whole choose their fate edition of the movie that you can watch. Wow. And it pauses at certain points in the movie where it says do you want to do this or that? And you get to choose. And there's actually alternate sequences or things. And I wanted to talk through those as we get to them. If you guys want to hear, because some of them are kind of funny.
I do want to hear.
I did read about this in the IMDb trivia that it's one of the few movies that was at the right exact point of time of the height of DVD features that the director actually did them while doing the movie.
Yeah, they have full different scenes and the characters will live longer even if they're maybe not seen in the movie or whatever. But we
had something beautiful in this country and it was special features on DVDs.
It's true.
Yeah, I know. I wish they kept doing it. It's really sad. Because this is fun. Okay, so the first question that comes up is when they get to the roller coaster, they flip a coin to see who's gonna ride in the front, right? And so you can choose heads or tails. And I think in the movie it's heads, and if you choose heads, it just continues as normal. Yeah. If you choose tails, it says after the vision. So when we see in the movie, she has the whole vision of the roller coaster. She wakes up and she's already on the roller coaster, and they have seconds to get off. Yeah. When in this version, if it lands tails, once the premonition stops, she wakes up at the coin flip and stops everyone there. And none of them get on, and then the movie ends. But they have these hilarious. Okay, but they have.
Wow, what a great time, everybody!
That's amazing.
I guess they walk away, but there's an epilogue that has kind of one of those end of the movie words on screen here's what happened to this person, and I wanted to read what happened to everyone. Oh my god! Okay, I want to read what everyone did. So here it goes. It comes up with this.
You should have got a time of your life sound drop or something. I guess then we would get knocked for the copyright.
Okay, it says, desperate to start living, Carrie dumped Kevin the next day after the incident. She enrolled at Berkeley, dropping out after only one semester to travel the world. It says, presently, Carrie is a groupie for Doctors Without Borders.
What? They have groupies?
I guess. That's what she did. That's what she
I
did.
thought you were going to say the name of a band.
No, she's a groupie for Doctors Without Borders. That means like she maybe wanted to get into it, but wasn't a doctor. I don't know.
Could at least become a PA or something, a nurse.
This one says, after the incident, Kevin's obsession with Wendy grew dramatically. To avoid being slapped with a restraining order dictating he stay 100 yards away from the Christensen home, Kevin joined the army and was sent to Iraq.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wait, there's more. I just got to wait for the video to play to the next thing here. It says, citing bizarre and erratic behavior, Kevin was discharged after refusing to go on patrol in Basra because 3 consecutive coin flips landed on heads. And then it says, the patrol was subsequently ambushed. And then it says, Kevin Fisher is presently back in McKinley, staying 101 yards away from the Christensen home.
Okay.
Here's the next kid.
So the unit was ambushed, but he survived.
I guess. I think all these people survived. Like, I don't know why.
This film is very like post 9/11, you know, like like they mentioned 9/11 and Iraq, like and all this stuff so many times.
See that? There's a shadow of a plane.
Yeah.
This one says, oh, wow. Okay. It says, after months of intense contemplation and study of the world's various religions, including Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Orthodox Judaism, Shiite Muslimism, Taoism, Unitarianism, and yoga, Jason emerged from his room and founded the Church of Ultimate Beliefs, is what it says. It says, preaching enlightened preordination. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Jason and his followers have built a self-sustaining compound in Winnipesaukee, New Hampshire.
Also, I don't think Muslimism is a word. It's just Islam, isn't it?
That's what it says.
Oh, okay.
I'm just reading what it says.
All right.
This one says, no. So this is Wendy now. It says, no longer in denial about her gift, Wendy Christensen changed her name to Ming. She advises politicians and celebrities and often gives pro bono readings to police departments around the country.
Okay, but you could have done that without the appropriative name.
I don't know. Yep. It says, last reported seen in Vancouver, British Columbia. Her present whereabouts are unknown. And then, like, it would proceed with the regular credits. Isn't that
my.
weird? That's so odd. Very
Wow,
odd.
wow.
So there you
Okay.
go. That's the longest one out of all of them.
Each one found a way to be problematic.
Yeah.
A little special way.
For no
Oh
reason.
my goodness.
For no reason.
Okay.
Oh boy. So
Wow.
yeah. In the real movie, some of them get off the roller coaster, but not everyone.
Right. So
That's amazing.
when they start getting off the coaster and the creepy videographer guy gets off the thing, I was like,
This guy?
This guy.
Frankie Cheeks is old school, ladies.
He's like a super senior that's creeping on
yeah,
all the girls.
it's really gross. And but in the vision, it seems like his camera falling is the inciting incident that causes the mechanical
Yes,
failure.
yes.
But I looked this up, and there's all sorts of people complaining about this on the internet, and they said that the track was already broken. It's just his camera that causes the electrical failure that causes the harnesses to come up. And they would have crashed anyway, but just all the people falling out was different because he wasn't on there.
I had
don't know.
I had that same thought. Like, if he wasn't there, then why'd they make a big deal about his camera?
So apparently the track would have failed either way. His camera being there is what caused the electrical
Do
failure.
you think that it was possible, not the camera so much as it was the Batman-esque grip that had it latched perfectly onto the rail?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
It's like when they were walking up to the roller coaster, they show them all kind of look up, and maybe they didn't notice it, but you see one of the pipes
pipe
like
rattle.
clearly
yeah,
moving.
so that's what.
And if
that's
I
what
had
it said,
seen,
yeah.
if I had seen that, I would have been like, nah, no, I'm good. I'm not getting on this. I don't need to have a premonition. That shit's broke. But yeah, so they all die. The two significant others are stuck in the front seat. I don't know why.
Well, yeah. Also, sorry, Jason, but you're a bad boyfriend if you're like, my girlfriend won't go in the front, but I refuse to like stay with her and go to the back, so we have to flip a coin. He should have just been like, okay, you're scared, let's go in the back together.
Yeah. It's so
I
stupid.
feel like that couple deserved to die.
Not a couple. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the others.
I mean, the
the
others.
significant others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was.
then-
Yeah, because then you think maybe your your girlfriend, gal pal, would have at least been like, oh, I'll go with you in the back and the boys go in the front. But nope, you got to go with the guy that you hate, who I told you I'm going to break up with immediately after this.
It was funny and I think realistic that like everyone else on the roller coaster was like, let's go. Let's go.
Right.
They're like, this lady's crazy. I don't know what the hell's happening. I probably, if I was in that situation too, I probably would have been like, what the heck is wrong with this?
You know what, though? Everybody chanting gave real Universal Studios applause when you come back, vibes.
Right, that's true, yeah.
It is amazing how much just like teen grievance and a fight breaking out is responsible for picking the random people. That's the only way they figured out how to have randomizers. There's another fight that's like, all right,
just like the plane,
just like the plane.
Yeah,
in a way that's just like, that's ever happened.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, and the fact that her sister was on the roller coaster and she didn't know.
Yeah,
like,
and she also got off and she didn't see that either.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Wild.
That's a plot hole.
No, the bracelet.
She was just so scared that she
Grandma's
didn't notice
charm bracelet.
her sister was there.
So many charms.
Sitting behind the creepy adult man.
What were you going to say, Gloria?
Oh, just wondering if any of you have been in a ride where someone freaks out like that and they have to...
I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I think they usually freak out before they get to that point.
I was on a Star Tours that they had to stop.
Really?
Yeah.
Because someone was like...
Yeah, someone was like, no, I don't know if it was motion sickness or not. But like, yeah.
Wow.
I don't want to die in this giant dryer. Yeah.
Like, oh no, we got the Jar Jar one.
I'm out. Let me out. Let me out.
Oh my, we almost hit that poor Gungan. Anyway, so funeral for... No, actually, we don't even see the funeral for everybody.
We skip right to everyone's sad. It's money. It's
raining.
They're back in school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
School.
So in her locker, well, she has a picture of her dead boyfriend, but she also has a huge poster of the new pornographers, which, by the way, I have to say was in the radio station of Santa Paws 2. They also had a new pornographers poster when that little girl was singing that depressing song about Christmas.
Same poster?
No, different poster, because the one in Santa Paws like doesn't say the new pornographers as big. It says like the name of the album or something. So,
and neither movie could manage to use any good music.
No, the song at the end of this one's pretty hilarious.
It was so funny. Oh my god.
No,
roller coaster is pretty good.
I know it's a good. I'm just joking.
Yeah,
it was a joke.
Innovative. It didn't use any innovative music.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this like school thing, it's so weird because the two like bimbos, basically, I don't want to diss them too much, but anyways, they are like, oh, we feel bad for her because she's like so depressed. Let's invite her to go tanning with us.
She'll love it.
So that all three of us can look hot for graduation in honor of the dead people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the way normal people think.
Yeah. But you know,
so I was watching this with somebody that thought that was very normal. And I was
right.
Like, what?
Yeah. So maybe. I don't know. Have any of you ever been tanning at all?
I have once or twice.
You did? Really? It's like a Wisconsin.
But I literally think it was because we had a gift card or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never been.
It was in Wisconsin, like when I was in high school.
Yeah,
and I only went like once, and I was like, I don't think this is for
apparently
me.
It's a Midwest thing.
Right. Do they have it in Costa Rica?
Maybe yes, but it's not something that people were obsessed with.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of people did go maybe when I was in high school. But like, obviously I didn't need to go, and then nor would I. And then by the time I got to college, people were like, do not go. You will get cancer instantly, you know? So, yeah.
I went once and sprayed on whatever crap they tell you to spray. And it was basically a place that doesn't look that much different than where they go in this.
Yeah. Well, did it like, were you like scared? Did it feel weird?
No.
You didn't feel like your skin burning?
I just thought it was a little awkward, but
or claustrophobic, really.
Yeah. And I was bored, I think.
Yeah. But I think nowadays everyone just does the spray. No one goes tanning beds anymore at all, I don't think. Yeah, it's like a whole industry that no longer exists.
Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. So, they are frequent customers
They go, yep, they're there all the time, and they got the world's most gigantic soda cups you've ever seen in your life.
Slushies.
Are there slushies?
I thought they were like icy type.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There was a penguin on the glass.
That's right. Yeah. And so this is where we lead up to our first, kind of like death coming back to get everybody. We don't have any, I guess later in the movie, there's a little bit of like, the wind is blowing. We're in the happening for a second.
I don't really know what's going on with like the technology of the music either, because how are they both listening to the same song on these headphones that appear to be separate? But anyways, they go in there and they're looking at the CD collection and they're like,
Ew, Celine? Britney?
and so they're like, that's not good enough for them, which I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why would that not be good enough? And then they're like, we're the only ones who listen to good music. And then they proceed to listen to a song from 1975, which is a banger, sure, but what?
And it's a little bit fucked up that they would want to listen to that song after what happened. Like, why?
Yeah, people just died.
And they're like
singing along and jamming and yeah.
So I was like, you know what? They deserve to get fried in these things.
I think you are. I think the idea is that you're supposed to hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, is this the first time in the series that we've had like gratuitous boobs?
Yeah, I think so.
There were boobs in Final Destination, the last one too. Didn't someone flash someone on the or maybe that's a deleted scene. I think it was a deleted scene.
Oh, yeah. on the freeway?
Someone did get flashed on the freeway.
Yeah, but that's not the same. These girls are out for a long time and die with their breasts exposed.
You're right. Yeah.
But I did read in the IMDb trivia that it was apparently, even back then, shot extremely like sensitively, and it was just like the director and like one operator and the two girls, and that they covered the entire like set of the tanning room with like black curtains all around, so that nobody else could even see. So that's nice.
There's a whole special feature about that on the Blu-ray that I didn't get to, but it's called Boobs and Burns.
Oh goodness!
But the first thing I started it, and it just says like was a totally closed.
Yeah, totally closed set, which is pretty amazing for 2006. Good for them.
This is another choose your fate situation.
Oh boy.
So when she goes up to push like how hot to make the temperature, you can decide if she sets it to 73 degrees or 76 degrees.
Oh no.
She chooses 73 as normal in the movie. But if you choose 76, then what happens is that Ashlyn manages to get out of her tanning bed as it begins to malfunction. But as you remember, there's the shelf where the CDs falls.
Yes. Yeah.
So that still happens, and she gets knocked out. And so she's like lying on the ground, like, totally knocked out. And Ashley's screaming ends up waking her up, and Ashlyn tries to pull Ashley out, but when she grabs her hand, they both get electrocuted and they die. That's how it happens.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty good.
So they still die, but in a different way.
Yeah. Ashley and Ashlyn.
The movie way is so great because I think it leads to one of got to be on the top 10 list of great film transitions of all time.
It really is.
I bet it's somewhere. It might not be in top 10, but it would be on a list of maybe 20 or something. They die in the tanning beds. They're like fully, you hear them screaming, you see the flames coming out both sides. It's like an overhead shot, and then it transitions immediately to their coffins in the same position. Pretty great.
I will say that the editor
in
this movie, it really feels like that sometimes editors just like, they get bored and they make little funny things that they try to show, like put in and sneak by. I mean, that's not all. I did that, maybe. I don't know if that's professional editors too. But this feels like that every time that somebody did something like, I just fucked around with this, they're like, yes, it's in. Put that in the movie. Because there's like 5 or 6 hilarious smash cuts.
Yeah. But something you could do for your health that might be better than tanning.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could do. And one thing that we endorse here on the podcast is Magic Mind. And you guys, let me tell you, I don't know if you heard last week, but they have a very exciting thing happening right now.
They've expanded
to include a new product on their website. They have Magic Mind now in the gummy form, you guys. Gummies. We all know everyone loves gummies. It's like going back to your childhood or, your present day if you're still eating Welch's or whatever the hell you're having. Haribo gummies. Everyone loves a gummy, and these ones are good for you in multiple ways. And plus, they don't have the caffeine of the regular shot that you can get, but it has all the other good ingredients. And you know what? Actually, while we're doing this, I'm gonna have some right now. I got the bag right here. It's a beautiful bag. Mental
it contains
performance
90 gummies, which, adults are supposed to take 3 a day. So, that actually lasts you a pretty long time.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm going to just take my 3 right now and give this over to Eliz here.
Yeah. And, even kids can take it. If you have kids in your family, ages 8 to 12 should have 1 gummy a day, 13 to 17 have 2, and then adults have 3. And there's actually really only 8 magical ingredients in it. So there's not a whole bunch of weird stuff. There's 5 different vitamins: C, B3, B2, D3, and B12. And if you eat them daily, it will boost your mental clarity and, of course, give you all the other great benefits.
That's right. It's got the natural adaptogens. It gives you focus and clarity, sharper mind, and lower stress. Calm mind, dependency-free, crash-free, because there's no caffeine or anything delicious taste.
And you've been eating them every day, Justin, right?
I have. I've been having them in the morning, when I'm about to sit down to work, and, it's just helping me, get through and really focus. And because, it's easy when you work from home and everything, it's easy to get distracted. So I like to have the Magic Mind and, keeping my mind focused on work and powering through all the stuff I got to do every day. And if you guys are interested in trying out the gummies yourself, we have a special deal for you now that they have launched them on the website. You can go to this website right now, magicmind.com/SWritesGM. That's magicmind.com/SWritesGM, and you can get 25% off the Magic Mind gummies. If you go there and use our code SWrites25, that's SWrites and the number 25, directly on their website that I just said, you can get 25% off your order of Magic Mind. Again, that's magicmind.com/SWritesGM with the code SWrites25.
Yeah, and you'll be so smart and focused that you'll just be able to go pick up your diploma without even going to graduation or taking any tests or anything.
You know what? If all your friends died in a freak accident, you can use this to focus on something else.
Yeah.
All right, who dies next?
I have written down drive-through truck incident.
Oh, yes. This is great because I love they start to figure out kind of like what's going on. They realized, like, while the girls are burning up, literally while it's happening, they're looking at their photo like, oh, it kind of looks like they're on fire or something in this photo. And then when they put 2 and 2 together like that, oh my God, the photos are showing how people died.
Yeah. And I talked already about how this is sort of like a Ring ripoff, but it's even more than that. And I have to talk about this now because Ryan Merriman, our Kevin, right? Is that his name? Yep. He starred in Ring 2, which actually came after he starred in the short film Rings 2005 that was a bonus DVD that you could get with between Ring 1 and Ring 2. It was a 16-minute short film with Ryan Merriman and Emily Vandekamp.
Well, there you go. We gotta talk about it if we ever do the Ring movies.
And then it leads into Ring 2, in which I believe he dies pretty quickly.
Classic.
Of course, Rings 2005, the 16-minute short film, is not to be confused with Rings 2017, the reboot of the series, which I think we watched in theaters, starring that guy from Big Bang Theory. Yeah. So don't get it twisted. It's a different Rings.
So confusing.
Yeah. And then also, not to pull back the curtain too much, but we are recording here on St. Patrick's Day.
It's true.
A day in which we all celebrate the luck of the Irish, both the holiday and the Disney Channel original film in which Ryan Merriman reaches puberty and transforms into a leprechaun.
Oh, no.
Do you not know about this?
No, I didn't. I have
Tyler,
no idea.
you don't know about this?
That's not real.
It's peak DCOM, okay? Like,
I didn't have the Disney Channel.
Tyler,
No, I do not know about
Oh my
this.
God. Okay. So I don't know if it's a Mandela effect thing, but I was convinced that Ryan Merriman starred in both Luck of the Irish, in which he becomes a leprechaun at puberty, and the 13th year, in which a boy becomes a mermaid at puberty, but it was actually a different guy in the 13th year. I just thought they were the same. But this like peak Disney Channel original movie. Ryan Merriman also starred in Smart House, which is one of the all-time DCOMs, and he does a whole dance routine with 2 friends to that Jump Jump the House is Jumpin' song. And it's a classic moment.
Sure.
Yeah. And
For certain people.
What's her name from Lost is the name of the Smart House. And or the voice of the Smart House. Anyways, but he still often posts pictures of himself with various leprechaun and Smart House memorabilia. Like he is like, here's a video of me with my Alexa. Haha, how funny. I was in Smart House, remember? Or like, here's a video of me with a leprechaun at a party supply store.
Was this like a Turning Red situation where it was like runs in the family?
Yes, it definitely ran in the family. Yeah, his dad was like, okay, I probably should have told you. You know,
you're going to be a leprechaun.
It was like, I mean, About Time was a ripoff of, no, just kidding.
That's insane.
This is a real movie. I cannot believe you guys haven't heard of this.
I'm just picturing an Animorphs cover, but it's going into a leprechaun.
Yeah.
He becomes like...
Those middle ones are like...
Google the poster right now and look at it.
What's the movie called again?
The Luck of the Irish.
All right, I'm doing it. The Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, it's like a little tiny version of him with the...
So stupid. It says, kid today, leprechaun tomorrow.
Right. This is like a real thing.
No.
His hair turns red.
Of course it does. You can't be a leprechaun without red hair. Please. Okay, so yeah, that happened. That's where I know Ryan Merriman from. I don't know, other people might know him from other things. But you know, he's still around. He's been in a lot of like military movies and
like
all
Captain
sorts
America?
of things. No, like DVDs, like Redbox, you know, and lots of Canadian things.
Sniper 72.
Even though he is American, he did make the rounds of like Smallville and all those other shows. So,
Nice.
So yeah, that's what's up with him. And it's not a real Child Star check-in, but it is a Disney Channel original movie check-in.
That's amazing.
So I can't believe you guys didn't know that.
No, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
I wish I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so now back to the truck incident.
I like this because they're still like, they're not really sure who's next. They don't really know what's going on exactly. And crazy shit starts to happen while they're at this drive-thru. And so they're like convinced that they're about to die because it kind of looks like they are. And then like, the whole, you know,
This movie really tripled down on the Rube Goldberg of it all.
Yes.
yeah. And it's all like, this happens. And then like, surprise, the guy who was in front of them was Frankie Cheeks.
Who, let's be honest, deserved to die more than maybe anyone we've ever seen
Absolutely.
in these films.
Yeah.
I do love this sequence of events that caused this death because it feels like that they're just filming a sitcom in the background, but they've just used real props instead of like fake things.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh no, the truck, and like, oh, the guy in front of me, the drive-through. It is so hilarious to me, this guy running after this truck.
Yeah. No.
We finally got a fan death because that's what actually
Yes.
does kill him is the fan inside the car
The engine.
cuts
yeah.
off his head.
Pretty cool.
Which I thought there was going to be a fan death ever since the first movie because there was like 85 close-ups of Devon Sawa's room fan, and I was like, when are we getting a fan death? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. you're gonna
Yeah,
say
I was
something?
I was just gonna say that, you know, when she see the picture and she sees the fan, and then she's like, "Oh, this is how he dies." I feel like at that point of the movie, I would already gather everyone and tell them like they did in the second movie that everyone was together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't even, you know, she just go one by one to try to prevent the death.
And each person is like, oh, whatever, you
Yeah.
crazy person.
If she even gets to them in time.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, why is she not gathering everyone together
Yeah.
in the same room?
They didn't want to repeat the last movie, I guess. I don't know.
And even though they said that they needed to find this creepy guy to find out who was behind him, they don't get to ask him in time. And then they don't really ask anybody else.
No.
So
Yeah. Well, this is another choose their fate moment. There's a moment in the car where Kevin honks at the person in front of the car, and then the person flips him off, and you never see who it is, right?
yeah.
So it pauses there, and a question comes up like, should Wendy honk again? and if you choose yes, if you choose no, the film continues as normal. If you choose yes, the person turns around and flips him off again, and they're like, "Oh fuck, it's Frankie!" And so they kick out the windshield of their car, and Wendy jumps out, and then Kevin grabs Frankie and pulls him out of the car just as the truck collides. So Frankie actually survives that moment.
Okay.
And then later, then they're after, because after that they go to the police station and they see Frankie being shoved into a police car in handcuffs or something. And it says, the question comes up and says, was Frankie worth saving? And if you say no, then the movie just continues. And if you say yes, it says it shows Frankie got arrested and charged, revealing that he sexually harassed a woman.
Yeah, first of all, no one's ever been arrested for sexually harassing a woman, okay? Let me tell you that. You can
That's true.
let's look, you could drug and rape like 1,000 people and still walk around on the street.
This is why it's in the weird deleted scenes.
I thought you were going to say he was like a pedophile.
That's all it says.
There's something so funny to me about this movie trying to like make you hate this guy the most. And, like, are you still not sure?
Was he worth
They ask you
saving?
twice, and they're like, "Well, what if I told you he once harassed a woman?"
We saw him harass at least a half a dozen women at the carnival alone.
Yeah. It's so messed up. So, like, he doesn't die at all, I guess, because he just gets skipped. And he either goes to jail or he just is out there sexually harassing away.
I think we found the perfect metaphor.
Yeah.
I think this car scene is also where we get introduced to our totem song for this film called... I thought it was called Someone's Walking Behind You, but apparently
There
it's
is
called
someone.
Turn Around, Look at Me.
Yeah. By the Letterman, I think.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, when the Letterman released Turn Around, Look at Me, the B-side was called, like, What Happened to Julie or something like that, which, like, Julie is the sister in this movie. Yeah, so.
There were so many audio clips of people just going, Julie!
Yeah,
Julie!
I know. Oh, my God.
It's pretty funny.
Especially like the last scene, it's like, she's yelling Julie and Kevin over and over again. And those are like two of my really good friends in the same group. Like, too. Like, you know, so I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because we were saying that we've got James Wong back from the first one, and so it's interesting to see some of his tropes from the original come back, where it's like really focused on like a repeating song that eerily comes up again at the end of the movie.
Well,
just
we
like it did
sort of had Highway to Hell in the second movie, but they didn't do it as much.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as big of a focus. I feel it was
Not
like
as Rocky Mountain High. Yeah. Okay, so the next death.
We got Kevin is up next, right?
Kevin?
No, not Kevin. Lewis. I mean, sorry.
Lewis. Yes. Who, by the way, I just want to say this guy's name is the actor's name is Texas Battle.
Oh, that was him.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's acting and around, but he did star in more than a half a dozen, I think, of the Bruce Willis Redbox run that he tried to do before he couldn't work anymore, which like people thought was funny at the time, but now is sad. But this guy like was in every single one, so he must have like been part of the producing team or something. But it's a different name that he has in every single one, so they're not actually connected, but he's in all of them. So interesting. But the main takeaway from this scene is, of course,
I was kind of like, does this take place in California the
Right,
whole time?
right,
And then
right.
like, oh, okay, yeah.
But he's, got a chip on his shoulder because he didn't get into the Bruins, and he's at the Sultans, which, ooh. Yikes.
They're like punching a bear and stuff. Yeah.
Which, I've done way worse to Bruin epitaphs in my life. But school rivalries are stupid when you look back. But
yeah, this is a great death. I like this one a lot because it happens right in front of them too, and they're just like, oh fuck.
They get brains all over them twice because it happened previously with the car, and then now they get brains all over them again. And the team and the university is nice enough to give them a full set of clothes afterwards, but then they have to wear Sultan's paraphernalia. So
I love how they get like a whole Pulp Fiction treatment there.
Yeah.
This is where there's another choose your fate, but this is where they start to get a little bit lamer as
Oh my God, this is going to be like one of our longest episodes in ages.
I'm
'cause of all
sorry.
these.
This is-
No,
this is-
I'm not sorry. Go for it.
Really quick, I just can't believe that the previous one was a second honk. Like it wasn't like order something different or like skip
Well,
fast
no,
food.
this is what
It's like, what if you just honked again?
Exactly. It could change everything. This one is the question comes up: should Wendy have another look
At what?
the photo? I think it's like when they're looking at the photos to see like for clues. She goes back in and take another look, and I think what happens is that taking the time to take another look. When they show up to Lewis, he's already at that machine, and he just is like, "What the fuck are you guys doing here?" And then lifts it and dies immediately. So they don't have any of that conversation about like,
wait, so we never got to hear the amazing quote?
no, yeah, this one.
Lame. Thank God that wasn't the real version of the movie.
I know. So that's the only difference there. That's
So
it.
in that part, that's when I started thinking like I would ask her to show me the photo. I want to know like what I have to be watching for, because the clues are there. So I would totally avoid, if I say,
well, and you're going to be able to recognize your own possible triggers more than some other person who doesn't even know you that well.
Yeah. Would you like to see your photo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would like
I
to
guess.
see it. Yeah.
Some of them are very super vague though.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to be like,
so many like levels removed from. Yeah, which we'll talk about in the Home Depot.
I think the most realistic thing about this movie is that everyone is just straight up annoyed when she tries to warn them.
Yeah. No one is like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
You saved my life before.
Like,
let's do it again.
They should have already been freaked out after the tanning bed incident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's articles about this happening previously. So it's clearly a thing. I don't know. Yeah, so what? Now we go to Ian and Aaron hard at work killing pigeons.
Yeah.
What an insane strategy.
So what? His picture was of,
He had a gun.
but it also said like kill birds or something like that, right? It was like
they were at a thing that was like a skill. I think
it said kill.
It said skill because it was like a game of skill. It probably
yeah.
said. And then so it said kill, and she was covering her face like this.
Yeah.
And he had a gun, like a fake gun, up to her.
So
I guess you would be like, oh, she's getting shot in the face, and she does die with her hand like this.
But then how was he supposed to die? Because they save him.
Unclear.
So right, he gets skipped somehow. But how was it that he was gonna die?
I don't know. Good question.
It was the stakes, I think. There was like the pointy
things
yeah,
that's right.
The skill thing.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Because they were like flags that had little points. Yeah.
So both of these like anti-establishment, not quite goth, but like kind of punky kids work at the Home Depot with each other late at night. And
Zip and Pip.
They are terrible at their jobs because even before you realize that all this is Rube Goldberg connected, they're knocking over shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be cleaning up to close the store, and they're just like whack, crash the thing, crash the thing. Like everything's falling over. They don't give a crap. There's spills. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, they're rebels.
I thought for sure someone would die from the forklift because those are dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
But
I
that's not
do
how it
love
happens.
teens being bad at their jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, but it starts out with his boss told him to kill the pigeons with a nail gun. That's insane.
Yeah.
Who would do that?
I don't know. But
There's
hey,
so many other ways.
the choose your own fate revolves around killing
Okay,
the pigeons.
let's hear it.
So okay, this is another one that's like really stupid, I think. So basically it says, should he fire a kill shot or a warning shot? And if you choose kill shot, the movie continues as it normally does. If you choose a warning shot, he misses the pigeons and they fly away and he says some stupid thing. And then basically like the pigeons end up being the one that knocks over the pigeons knock over the nail gun and she still dies the same way.
Okay.
That's it. That's the only difference.
I mean, that was definitely like the scene probably in the whole movie, the most that I was like, ooh, like, wanting to cover my eyes was her getting with the nail gun.
Yeah, that was rough.
I was like, I can't see this.
I do think this is perhaps the most intricate death.
Yeah, there's like 85 steps to this Rube Goldberg.
Oh yeah, and it's like you forget about. It's funny you like forget about the nail gun like after the first moment, kind of, because it's like.
Do you though?
I mean,
do you?
She could have died anyway.
It's Chekhov's nail gun.
It's 2006. They missed an incredible opportunity to have a song from OK Go. And the accompanying Rube Goldberg music video.
Wait, we should reboot the series starring OK Go and they do all the Rube Goldberg machines.
How do you know they don't have a song in the new
one? That might be in the new one, yeah. Sure. Who knows?
That'd be incredible.
Okay, so they skip what's-his-face. She dies.
They save Ian, and then they all got to converge on the tricentennial. The tricentennial! The one guy's like, I gotta be security at the tricentennial, you guys. Let's go.
And,
I guess we skipped over her finding out that her sister was on.
Her sister. There's this good luck bracelet. One thing though that we like didn't really talk about is like we talked about 9/11, right? So she brings the picture of 9/11.
That's right.
The picture of what was the other one? And then Abraham Lincoln.
That's so stupid.
And then they like stupidly, so this takes place in like Pennsylvania or something, and like not to skip forward, but all the way at the end of the movie, the train stations are like Oswald and Booth or whatever. So they're like, somehow this is like connected to presidential assassinations, but which is it? Disasters or assassinations? Which one is death design that people are escaping via photographs?
It's just so funny that they're like, look, there's been premonition photos throughout history.
Well, and then
why would they use the Twin Towers? Like, it's something
so
else.
bad. I mean, I feel like this was at a time where we didn't quite yet know how to make media about 9/11. You know, like, now where we are now, you don't even want to entertain anything that suggests that 9/11 may have not happened or couldn't have happened or could happen. You know, so it's just like a nightmare. You know, it's so bad. But also the high school is like McKinley High School. And then Ian is complaining that his last name is also McKinley, but it doesn't really have anything to do with anything except that like McKinley died also, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And so then it's just, so it being McKinley High School, that is also the name of the high school in Glee. Which I think took place in Ohio or something like that. But the football coach, who I think was like in the roller coaster scene trying to stop the kids from getting on, is this actor Patrick Gallagher, who is also the football coach in Glee. So I'm like, okay, this is like one universe, right? Then at the carnival, I didn't even notice this. I saw it in IMDb later. Corey Monteith is one of the kids who like is like, leave her alone, Kevin, or whatever, for like 2 seconds. And so this is absolutely got to be where Glee takes place immediately after this or something. After this, Corey Monteith started the show choir or whatever with Mr. Shoe.
That's incredible.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. So what? We want to move into the kind of final big sequence?
It's the whole thing. So there's another skip, I think. There's a few more skips.
Yeah, we get into my favorite type of thing, which they kind of did in the last movie, where shit is popping off like crazy, people are dying or getting like attempted deaths left and right, and it's all kind of happening at once, and they're like trying to fight it off, and Julie is getting dragged around by a horse.
It's so stupid that he even goes to the carnival, because he's like, wait, it's time for us to see how we die before you go and...
oh my God, yeah, it's such an insane phone call to make.
Yeah, and then, and then they do this whole thing where at the police station, after they've been interviewed for the Home Depot incident, they're like hugging, and it's like super like, oh, maybe I don't hate you after all, even though you took the upskirt picture of that girl with my camera, and then it shows like he's like, I gotta go home and talk to my dad. He doesn't say anything about, and I also have a part-time job working security at the centennial celebration that is not related at all to the senior carnival from last month.
Yeah, this one's for the town.
Okay. Yeah.
So Kevin's photo just looks like, his face is getting overexposed with light, like, So he surmises that he's gonna, I don't know, see some fireworks explode in his face, right?
That's what he says.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. They get there. Julie, things get crazy. Julie gets like a rope wrapped around her neck with a horse running around, and she's getting dragged. Like, she probably would have been dead, but she's not.
Maybe.
Somehow.
I mean, she did grab onto the rope, so she was able to, like, but not good. Not good.
I mean, the horse is running full speed, and she's just getting dragged by it. I don't know.
But she somehow lives through that, and then it skips her and immediately offs her Asian friend, who didn't even get like a line or a name, or we didn't know anything about her.
That was so messed up. She's like, wait, but who was sitting with you? And the girl is like...
Yeah, she had like less than 1 minute of screen time.
Just to die.
Yeah.
In like a pretty horrific way.
Yeah, no, her...
Pull through the back.
Her fake psychic name is a tribute. to her sister's friend.
Her name was terrible.
It's not a good movie for Asians, okay? Because this girl gets it. One of the tanning bed girls was famously half Asian, like that actress. And then the Indian girl at the end also, like, who knows what happens to her. But what a rough thing here. So flagpole death is next.
Yes.
So then...
And then Wendy is convinced that McKinley is going to cause her death.
Right. He's mad. He wants to kill her for killing the other girl at Home Depot. But then they're not sure.
Even though that's not at all what happened. But
yeah, they're not really sure how Kevin's going to die. He narrowly escapes a fire,
an oxygen
gas
tank blowing up or something?
a barbecue incident. And then McKinley gets killed by the crane sign thing.
Yeah. I love that scene. He's like, I'm not gonna die, you're gonna die, or whatever, yeah. And then it squishes him. This is another choose their own fate.
Okay.
You can choose. It's so stupid. You can choose if Ian should jump left or jump right. It says if you choose to jump left, he dies just like he does, and he gets cut in half or whatever. If you choose to jump right, he just gets completely squished.
Jump off of what was he jumping?
Just to try to move out of the way. I don't know.
Oh, I don't even remember him.
I think he looks up and maybe he does. I don't know, but that's the option.
He's cut into half, right?
Yeah, in the movie he's cut in half, and you can see that he's flipping her off with his other half. But if you choose to jump right, he just gets completely squished and no bisecting at all.
Yeah.
Which I think is so funny that you can't save him; he just dies either way.
I just love that they had to shoot both.
Yeah. He gets the classic plate glass window squished, body squished. And then, everyone's fine. They survived. Game over, right?
Yeah, we didn't bother to look up what happened to the original teens. No matter how long you think you're safe, it's still gonna come from you when you go to Paris.
That's right. Or if you get on a plane or a train.
A train together.
Train. Apparently it's train 081.
Oh, right. That was the
flight 180. It's 180 backwards.
No, we cannot try to bring back the backwards mechanic because it all falls apart in that second movie.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I love this. I feel like it takes Wendy way too long to be like, whoa. Something's up here.
It really does. She's like, an ad from my favorite fast food place?
She's trying to run off the train and then doesn't because her sister comes onto the train.
Yeah.
And she completely forgets that she was in a panic.
God, what?
Hey, oh my God, you're coming to visit me. And then they notice that he's been on the train the entire time.
It is funny. She's seen all those ads on the train, and they're all like Sultans or
the
shorts,
Sultans,
knife
the
sharpening,
fast food place, the Home Depot place,
yeah.
And then randomly one that says accounting firm. You can't escape death and taxes.
So great. And then the fact that Kevin is also on the train is like, okay, no, we got to get the hell out of here.
It's gonna happen.
And we get another amazing death sequence.
We do.
And then she wakes up, right? At the end, she wakes up and they're back on the train and she's like, we have to get off.
And then you just hear the crash.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the point was of her having. I don't think anyone ever had a second premonition like that where you flashed back.
It's the first time.
And that one's a fucked up one because there's nothing she could have done. It was kind of like the roller coaster one where it was like almost too late. She was about to go anyways. This is the final choose your fate
okay.
thing, which is also it's stupid. It's another stupid one, I feel like. So it says that you have to choose if she wants to look at the rest of the map on the train or not. I don't know. If she looks at the map longer, then everything happens, and basically the only difference between whatever one you pick is whether or not you are aware that it's a premonition or not. Okay. So basically, the alternate one is all the train crash happens, she's the only one surviving, and then the train comes and hits her, and that's how the movie ends. It doesn't she doesn't wake back up and go it was a premonition.
Right.
That's the only difference.
Okay.
So see, they kind of got stupid.
Well, but it is funnier to make it end really fast, so that's why it's the first one's the best one.
That was the best one,
yeah.
They all
and if you're watching it this way, if you choose one that ended the movie like that, could you then just go back to that inflection point? Or did you have to watch the entire beginning of the movie again?
I think you could just rewind back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So,
go to the
Glory,
scene
what was
selection.
your favorite death in this one?
My favorite death, I think it was the what's his name? The bald guy with the fan.
Yeah.
Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie.
Cheeks.
Frankie. Yeah.
Because that guy was horrible.
Because he deserved it, and yeah, it was very graphic as well. How you can see the fan stuff in his head. Yeah.
Yeah. Some good deaths this time around.
Yeah.
How is it that truck drivers have that culture where it's like okay for them to always have that stupid sexy lady silhouette on the...
Yeah, it's weird.
And then like truck balls are still a thing too. I literally saw some truck balls like a week ago and I was like,
Oh, no.
how is this still a thing? Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well. That's why that guy let his truck roll down the hill and then comically ran after it. Yeah.
My truck balls. Oh God. I don't know.
Some things. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Some actor things. Erin, the girl, female friend who dies very early on, is this actress Alex with a Z Johnson, who sang the theme to Degrassi and then got her own show on the N called Instant Star, which was like an American Idol type thing. And she also was the third season replacement for the main character in the Disney Channel show So Weird, which was like a supernatural, literally capital S supernatural style show that was on Disney Channel very early on in like the Disney Channel original shows thing. And apparently she is the reason that Demi Lovato decided to become a singer.
Oh wow.
And she's still out there doing it.
Nice.
And then Chillin Simmons, who was one of the tanning girls, she was in the TV Carrie, the one with Claire. Which I don't know, she was one of the bullies, I think. She was probably Claire's sidekick.
Barely remember that.
Or whatever, yeah. And then her counterpart, Yanke Crystal Lowe, who I said was half Asian, she has starred in literally 11 films in the Signed, Sealed, Delivered series on Hallmark.
Oh, so, I've heard of that.
I mean, you've heard of the song.
Yeah. That I wonder if they ever have licensed. Yeah.
But then, yeah, I mean, like, I guess arguably the most famous person is Amanda Crew, who was Julie, who's the girl from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Yeah.
Yes, I meant other than her.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah.
I know. I saw her in the movie, and I was like, "Who is she? So familiar."
Is that the girl from Silicon Valley?
Is it?
Yeah, I just kept thinking she was really familiar. I couldn't figure it out.
I had to look it up. I couldn't place it, but
I was proud. I got there.
Yeah, good job.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
We forgot. Yeah,
that's her most famous role, right?
Yeah, right. We have to also mention that yes, we started off the movie with a roller coaster, and then we get Roller Coaster of Love. The movie ends with a train, and then we get a horrifying cover of Love Train by Tommy Lee.
It's the most monotone thing I've ever heard. Every note choice is just like bewildering.
Yeah,
like, it goes the direction that you don't think it would go. Because we all know the song. Like,
it's just like, gotta love train. Love train.
It is truly one of the funniest
Join
credits.
hands. I mean, I was like, oh, come on. Like, because they have the whole train sequence and then that happens. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's pretty funny. It is funny.
he recorded it just for this, too.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a thing he'd done.
I'm sure.
Like, if you look it up, it is like Tommy Lee Love Train from Final Destination 3. Like,
it is pretty hilarious. I just wish it was a better version, but
it's rough.
Amazing.
Like, every time you think he's going to go up in the notes, it goes down.
yeah. It's just really weird. It's very weird. But that's how the movie ends, you know? Yeah. Love Train cover. Classic. I don't know. Tyler, rating system for us?
Boy, I guess how many hopelessly wedged tubes of suntan lotion would you give Final Destination 3?
I'm going to give it 5 hopelessly wedged sunscreen tubes.
Ugh. Grosses me out.
I think, I mean, I like this one, but I think it's not the best one. It's cool that the original director came back, but I feel like, I don't know. It's like, I like the idea of like the roller coaster is a great fear and everything, but I don't know if it like looks great. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to film and get all the effects. And I feel like it looks a little bit dated these days. I don't know. It just feels like you're starting to get a little bit of like, okay, we know what's going to happen here. But the deaths are still pretty good. I still think I like some of the deaths in the second one better than this one.
Okay.
Who's next?
I'm going to also say 5 for similar reasons, but really for me, like, I mean, I was super excited to see Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Ryan Merriman. I didn't know Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in the movie. So last week when you guys were hinting that there was like somebody big, I for sure thought you were talking about Ryan Merriman, star of Luck of the Irish on Disney Channel.
Obviously.
I definitely thought that's who you meant. Like 100%. I'm not even joking. I was like, yeah, the guy from Disney Channel. Anyways, and the roller coaster thing, I definitely just remembered, and that poster is really, even though in the poster they're in the front, which obviously that's not true to what happened in the movie. Anyways, but I think the photo thing really is what ruins it for me, because the photos aren't even good. That's the thing. It's like they're not even connected in like a good way or in a clever way. And it's like you got to choose that. Like it was up to you to come up with the photos. You could have done whatever you wanted. Yep. Changing the photo wasn't going to up the production budget or anything like that. You could have taken way better photos. Like, I understand if you're like, oh, we're locked into these desks because they're in the script and because we already paid for the blah, blah, blah. But the photos could have been anything. And they just had a complete lack of connection and lack of imagination.
If you told me that they were improvised, I would believe it.
Right. It was so bad. Like, it was just...
I feel like, and I feel like I kind of like the idea of your main character having insane, like, hallucinations randomly throughout the movie, being like, oh, fuck, pigeons, what the... I think that was fun, and so this is not...
I mean, they were trying to maybe say that, like, because she's a yearbook girl, her premonitions are in the form of these photos, but I'm just like, this is stupid. I just didn't like the photo thing, and it was a total Ring ripoff, and I'm a huge Ring person from way back, so I was just like, no.
Yeah.
But, I think maybe the acting was a little bit better than the second one.
Yeah. That's true.
Overall, even though, it is what it is. But anyways, that's where I'm at, Tyler.
I think I'm also a 5, hopelessly wedged, sunscreen tubes. For all the reasons that you guys said as well. I think I like the deaths more in this one. I think that they get more elaborate. I think that they do expand in a way that you want to see in sequels.
Fair.
But... yeah, it's getting further away, and I want it to be more supernatural than just the photos.
Fair. Gloria, how about you?
Yeah, a 7. 7, hopeless wedge.
Hopelessly wedged sunscreen tubes.
I didn't even say that because I'm so grossed out by the concept, even. I'm like, bleh.
Yeah, I think the acting was way better than the second one.
Yeah.
That nostalgic component of this movie that caused that effect on me. And another thing that I was like, I really wanted to see more development in the main character's love story. But that never happens in these movies. Like,
there's no time.
There's no time, but I need it. I like all
You wanted them to get together after he took that picture of the girl's butt on the camera? Come on. He was dead to me after that.
But what if we told you that he sexually harassed a woman?
That was a different guy.
Arrested.
That was a completely different guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's it for me. Yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of our talk on Final Destination 3. Next up, Oh, you know what? You know what? The other thing you mentioned, it was St. Patrick's Day today. We should also mention that it's literally the 25th anniversary of the original Final Destination premiere.
To the day.
Yeah.
To the day. I know this episode will come out a little bit later, but you'll know we recorded this on that.
Yeah,
day.
and because it's the anniversary, there was shocking headlines that Devon Sawa said he'd be happy to return at any time.
That's right.
You know, I'm sure it's very shocking to everyone after we've seen the Chucky TV show,
shocked.
in which he's played now 4 to 5 different characters.
He's available.
Yeah.
Well, in 2009 comes the next one, and we get a classic sequel trope where this one is The Final Destination.
The
Final Destination. Has anyone seen this one besides me?
No, you've seen it?
I've seen them all. Yeah, I've seen
Man, Gloria, are you actually gonna watch it when Justin watches it?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's hooked now. She's got to see.
Yeah.
Like, what percentage wise would you say you actually watch along with the movie when Justin has to watch it?
Like 70% maybe.
Oh, I was gonna say almost never, but
I just never watched those movies of the dogs or.
fair. Hey, Gemma watched those with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny because we took Gemma, which is our oldest daughter. We took her to cut her hair.
Yeah.
And then they had a TV with Netflix, and it was so funny because the lady was like, "What do you want to watch?" And she was like, "Space Buddy."
Oh my
Buddy.
God.
She chose
The lady was like, I'm calling to protect herself.
She chose it herself. Pretty funny.
Wow.
Those movies were great. Well, yeah.
We won't know for years what damage these sequels have done.
Oh boy. Well, Glory, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
As
So
a guest. It's a
course.
delight to have you.
Anytime, every time.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone for listening. Before we go, if you guys want to take advantage of that Magic Mind gummy deal, you can go to magicmind.com/srightsgm and use our code srights25 to get 25% off. That's srights25 to get 25% off the Magic Mind gummies. Do it.
Yeah.
You won't regret it. And we'll be back next time for the Final Destination. But even before we go, Eliz, where can people reach out to us?
You can email us at sequelrights@gmail.com or message us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at Sequel Rights. Or if you have my phone number, you can text me because I almost forgot to mention that our friend and former guest, Kristen Avila, texted me since our last episode to say that for the record, she has received laughing gas for a dental filling. She was 12 and so nervous that they gave it to her to chill her out because she couldn't have something stronger. And then this is a direct quote. That said, WTF is that joke? And she's referring to the kid joking about his pants being down at the dentist.
To his mom.
Right. She also said that for additional color of the story, her dentist's office had TVs on the ceilings. You could watch TV while they worked on you. And she said that while she was high on the laughing gas, it was the best 3 episodes of Blue's Clues that she ever
Oh my
saw.
God, that's amazing.
So
Yeah. That's great.
please continue to write in with your
Thank
feedback.
you for writing.
Thank
in.
you,
That was-
Kristen.
That was amazing. Tyler, where can people rate?
Yes, rate and review wherever you're listening. 5 stars, Spotify, all that jazz. Leave comments on the YouTubes. And thanks for listening.
And you know you're not going to get away without getting a brand new AI song. It's all about dying on a tanning bed. Everyone knew that's what it was going to be about, right? No, I'm kidding.
Right.
The song's called Frying Alive, and we hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys next time for The Final Destination.
Gonna get tan and gonna look hot. Think I'll use this gift card I got. It's been a minute since I've been in a tanning bed. Take off my clothes, put on the goggles. I climb in and then it startles. I think it's heating up, but the switch won't turn off. Tanning bed too hot, ouch, ouch. rushes in and the manager sings. I'm not responsible for her.